We have seen and heard this before. What's happening in Nepal today? We saw this happening in Sri Lanka earlier and in Bangladesh as well. There are striking similarities in the situations that have overtaken these countries. And I'll give you a lowdown on that. But first, let me tell you that even as we speak, matters have reached tremendous proportions in Nepal. Even after the rollback of the ban on social media, as it turns out, it was never about the social media ban. It was about the simmering tensions, the underlying anger among the youth for the corruption, for how a few privileged netas wanted to concentrate wealth in their hands and keep the privileges to themselves, and therefore there was rampant corruption, there was anger among the common people. The ban was only a tipping point. The real issue extends far beyond that. There was deep-set resentment among the people for the current government. Many even now say that the previous monarchy was better. Hi, I'm Afrida Rahman Ali. You're watching Free Press Journal. Do subscribe to this channel and press like, share and the bell notification to get alerted for more such content. We have heard and seen this before. There are striking similarities with what happened in Sri Lanka earlier and then in Bangladesh. Let me get you a lowdown on that. In Sri Lanka, in the year 2022, it was the Aragalaya movement. Severe economic collapse and massive inflation, along with fuel shortages and food scarcity, became the trigger. There were daily blackouts stemming from government mismanagement and nepotism, especially under the Rajapaksa family. A largely spontaneous apolitical uprising, citizens and youth occupied the Galle face, forming a protest camps that were dubbed as Gama. And the outcome of it all was that President Gotabaya Rajapaksa fled, multiple resignations occurred, including MPs and ministers, and Ranil Wickremesinghe was installed as the president by parliament. Now let's look at Bangladesh. The year was 2024, the July Revolution. Student-led protests against reinstatement of a controversial public sector job quota, compounded by authoritarian governance and economic grievances, was the trigger in Bangladesh as well. The movement met brutal force, leading to the July massacre, with the UN investigators estimating 1,400 plus deaths. And this was called the quote-unquote July massacre because random shoot-at-sight orders were given by the government of Bangladesh, which caused thousands of deaths, many injured and several arrested. Widespread internet shutdowns and social media blocks were put in place. The outcome of the July Revolution of 2024 was that PM Sheikh Hasina fled to India. The interim government led by Muhammad Yunus was established and the Awami League was suspended from future elections. Most of the Awami League leaders had to flee Bangladesh. Now let's cut to 2025 Nepal, the Gen Z protests. The trigger was, of course, the government-imposed ban on 26 social media platforms. For officially, the reason being given is for failing to register under new laws. But as it turns out, these media platforms were banned because they were perpetuating anti-government propaganda. Many of the content creators had started voicing their dissent against the current government of Nepal. So that sparked the ban that the government tried to impose, which of course it had to later take back. And it now appears that not just the social media ban, which was only the tipping point, the broader dissent was related to corruption, nepotism, and lack of accountability. The Gen Z swelled up the streets of Kathmandu. The unrest turned violent as crowds tried to storm parliament, resulting in at least 19 deaths, hundreds injured, and a nationwide curfew imposed. The outcome, as of the recording of this video, was that the social media ban was reversed, key ministers resigned, and Prime Minister Sharma Oli also stepped down. The anger is so palpable that you had the parliament building set on fire, you had a former Prime Minister, four-time Prime Minister, Mr. Deoba, and his wife, who happens to be a current minister in the Nepal government, also roughed up. So that explains and that indicates the level and extent of anger that was brewing among the youth. That's the most potent force. As I said, we've seen it before in other countries as well. And when that force comes out with full ammunition, this is what you see. There is loot, there is arson, there is burning of government buildings, and it is all following that same familiar script. What happens next? Well, if you talk to the young people there, and from all the accounts that we have received, there are some who say we want a snap poll to decide the next leader. There are others who are saying Balendra Shah should be the next leader. Yet others feel monarchy was a better system. Remember, this was a country under monarchy for a very long time. It's a new republic. But this system seems to have failed. It has failed the people because a few corrupt netas decided to concentrate wealth in their hands. And there is a lesson there for India as well. Thanks for watching.